Hey, Tracy. Welcome in, everybody. I know that this is the first in the month, but if you tuned in last week, due to a lot of the scheduling that I had going on, I missed majority of February, but I wanted to come in on the first of the month. Welcome to March. As you all know, March is Women's Month, so I definitely wanted to kind of swing on in on that. But of course, you already know we come together every month here and therefore. So if you know another young lady that would like to be a part, please do not hesitate to share the Step Out page with her. Any young lady that would like to join in and ready to step out, that's what we're here for, to kind of help and reach all the young ladies that's coming forth. I did specify that on last week that not only were we going to go live this month, on the 1st, I'm also incorporating for this month, for the month of March, is a little small drawing / raffle, whatever you want to call it. And this is where I'm putting together a basket. I'm still collecting items from people like to donate into this basket. And I want to give to one special lady who is following Step Out, who is subscribed to Step Out on YouTube, who also follows Step Out on the Instagram page, and has found me on Facebook and also sent their request there, and also brought in another young lady in to Step Out. The hats we put into a little hat, so to speak. The names we put into a hat, and from there we will gift a special young lady a basket on behalf of this Women's Month for the month of March. So go ahead and get ready for that. I wasn't able to kind of get the flyer together. I did get a lot of information for as far as like what to put into it. still building it up. So I hope you all be able to participate in that. I'm so excited to introduce the new topic for this month. It is one that literally the Heavenly Father woke me up with. And I was like, okay, because y'all know before I go with a topic, I'm always going to pray about it. What should we be discussing this month? So I'm looking forward to that. I hope you all been working on your bingo cards, your step out and self-care bingo cards. That is important, especially for this month. So I will also be giving out another basket for those who completed the self-care bingo cards, as well as the step out bingo cards. So there's two baskets that we're giving away this month. So make sure you're incorporating self-care. Yeah, so this month, I'm not going to hold y'all long today because it's Monday and it's the beginning of the month. I just want y'all to kind of think about the topic that we're going to be discussing this month, and also bring in questions, bring in anything that you may have. I think it's not only not only going live this first Monday, but it's also a fifth Monday in this month. So be prepared for that fifth Monday, the last Monday, which is March 31st. We will do a Zoom. It won't be live. It'll be a Zoom link sent out for all the young ladies to get together, and we'll be able to discuss that topic and how it kind of impacted us. What are some of the things we've seen? Have we noticed any other signs? Do we notice any signs in anyone else? What are some of your coping skills that you've kind of developed that we're able to help out other people too? So look out for that. I'll also be posting that as well. So 2 things you'll be looking for from me from this week is the one for the raffle, the giveaway, the 2 basket giveaways, and also for the Zoom link for the last Monday in the month, which is March 31st. Okay. All right. So moving on. So presenting to y'all the topic for this month. I know you're excited because I'm excited too. So this month we're going to be discussing depression and anxiety. Depression and anxiety is a lot, right? Just thinking about what we're going to talk about, it just, oh my gosh, it brings a certain overwhelmness to you. And you're like, oh my gosh, like, what are we going to be talking about? Well, in this Women's Month, we did discuss this on last week. There are a lot of hot topics that we're going to hit on. Depression, anxiety, which is the first one, inequality, sexual harassment, domestic violence, relationships when it comes to singleness or being married, parenting, living, having children, no children, loss of a child, can't conceive. We're going to deal with grief and loss as women and dealing with family as women, right? All these things are very, very sensitive topics when it comes to us women. And a lot of times, a lot of these things can also coincide with depression and anxiety if we're not careful. So if we don't know how to deal with these things, it can also causes a lot of anxiety and depression within our lives. So yes, I definitely want you all to come with your minds open as we get ready to go into this topic for this month. Get your questions together. If you know anyone else that may be struggling with depression or anxiety, definitely have them reach out and bring them into the group so that we can, we'll have a nice forum of young ladies and women who will be able to help each other out, because I don't know about anyone else. Depression and anxiety was something that was very, very new to me. I knew that I struggled with it, but I didn't realize of how known it was, especially because I never really heard about it within my community with women. So it was quite difficult to try to navigate. I think it hit me most. I want to say kind of hit me most during the loss of my daughter. I think it hit me more so when I got married. It's like different stages. So it's not just one thing where you have to literally be going through something for depression or anxiety to creep in, but it's just life, right? Life be life. As we say in my church, life be life. And oftentimes you don't really know how to navigate through it. And we struggle with depression and anxiety because we don't know how to navigate through these things. Like I said, I dealt with the anxiety when it came to family. I dealt with anxiety when it came to grief and loss and depression. I dealt with depression during grief and loss. Parenting brings about depression and anxiety. If you know, you know, and we ain't about to sugarcoat it. We gonna be honest. I'm the first to raise my hand as being a mother of some royal princesses. Parenting is definitely not for the weak. It is not. And we want to be open and honest about that because for me, just in parenting in general, my parents, they love grandchildren, right? They love dealing with their grandchildren. And one of the things they always say, oh, when you gonna have another? Most people be like, oh, you having too many. But then you have some people like, oh, when you gonna have another? Be fruitful, multiply, be fruitful, multiply. But no one talks about what it takes to be a parent. The anxieties, the woes when you have multiple children that are for me, 4 different personalities, 4 different people, and just trying to incorporate that, it can be a lot stressful. So we're going to deal with that. So we'll deal with depression and anxiety throughout a lot of these things that we are embarked upon. When it comes to being married, I find being married comes with a lot of anxiety because of the fact that it's two becoming one, and you have 2 different personalities, 2 different people that have goals, 2 different people that have things going on, and you're trying to bring that in together. And I want my single women, of course, as you come in, this is not just a thing for married women. This is for single women too, because I wish I would have known a lot of things as a single woman, as a single person before I got married. A lot more of what it takes to be a married woman, other than be fruitful and multiplying, right? And I want to be that person that, you know, like I said, I'm always going to be transparent, and I want to keep y'all encouraged as well to help you kind of navigate through the single stages and when you know when it's time to get married, and how to kind of navigate being married to someone that's kind of, because my husband and I, we're quite opposites. For me and him, I would say I'm more of the serious person. A lot of people that know us know this about my husband, myself. I'm more the serious person. He's more, I want to say goofy, so to speak, but yeah, he's more, I can't describe the word, but he's more out there like that, so where that, you know, it kind of complements us because it kind of makes me not take everything too seriously, but it also helps him that certain things need to be taken seriously. So it's a time, one of the things is a time and a place for everything. It's a time to play, it's a time to be serious. That's kind of like how we are, and that's how we kind of balance each other out. But yeah, just being mindful of that and what you're looking for in a mate, even if you choose to be single, not receiving pressure from people that you have to get married. We're in a different day and age now to where that some people don't want to be married. They want to remain single. So how do you deal with and it does cause a lot of anxiety because of the pressure that's put upon a person to be married when they have no desire to. So yeah, so all that goes hand in hand. But yeah, so this is the hot topic of the month, dealing with depression and anxiety. Depression is a persistent feeling of sadness, hopelessness, loss of interest in activities you once enjoyed. Is difficulty concentrating, feeling of worthlessness or guilt, change in appetite, anxiety, although it may not look like much, but it's still a little bit more. Intense, excessive, and persistent worry and fear about everyday situations. Before I started dealing with depression, I dealt with anxiety a whole lot because the pressure that was put on me to be of a certain way, of how I needed to succeed in life was a lot of pressure that was put up on me, and I didn't know how to navigate that. So I made myself do so much. I pushed myself to the ultimate limit, and then I ended up burnt out. And that's what I want to help prevent for you all, is that persistent feeling that you're feeling of fear, and that like you're not good enough, or that nothing is working out or nothing's planning out. Like, I don't want you to feel that way. I'm not saying that you're not going to, but to help you navigate through it is what Step Out is about. Because we don't want to just leave women out there and we see them struggling. We see them having a hard time, and we just leave them there in their situation. Like, I'm trying to bring more. I have daughters. And I'm trying to build more of friendships with girl moms. I'm trying to hang out with more women, married women, single women that have children, because we need each other. Like when I'm not able to be there fully for myself, or I know my children, they need someone else to play with, and it kind of like takes the edge off of me. And with just being able to talk to adults, because I've been a stay-at-home mom for a good while. I'm gonna say maybe 6, I don't know, 6, 7 years. I've been a stay-at-home mom. I got married in 2018. So yeah, however long that's been, I've been a stay-at-home mom. So having another mom to be able to talk to, like for me, it's my best friend for me. So like I be having moments where I be missing her. And I'm like, hey, come over. Let's go hang out or something. Let's do something. Because sometimes you need that. You need someone that'll help you take that edge off, especially if you're feeling overwhelmed and you don't really know who to turn to. It's good to have someone else that you could be able to rely on. Not a person that's going to take away from you, but those that are going to pour into you as well. I'm trying not to cry because this is like a really, really sensitive topic for me, because I know how serious it is for women that goes through this. Because, like I said, it was so hidden from me. I don't know if any of my family members dealt with it, but I do see it. Like being now a mental health professional, I see it. I see it in my family members, although they don't really like recognize it or not. They're like, oh no, we're just doing it. You just got to do it. Just keep going. Just keep going. I'm just like, that is not healthy. You know, that's the type of person I am. Like now I see it. I'm just like, that's not good. Like we're not supposed to be doing that. You're not supposed to be keep going, 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 going. You don't have no time for yourself. You need to be able to take self-care. You need to be able to find some way to do things for yourself. Like for me now, I started doing my face care routine. That was something that I like didn't really take pride in, but like now it's like something that I do. Trying to start keeping my hair done. My husband's down trying to encourage me to go get my nails and feet done. Normally, I would only get my nails done once a year. Before I met him, even like a couple years into it, I would only get my nails done once a year, which is around my birthday. Only around my birthday, once a year would I go get my nails done. And he's trying to encourage me to go like, once a month, go. And that's a stretch for me because going from 1 year to a month, that's the difference. It's a different thing for me. So just being open to that, to the different changes that you have to make within your life. Be open to it. Don't suppress it. It's gonna be different. It's gonna be very, very different, but I guarantee you can get through it and you can do it. Like I said, I'm still yet pressing into it, trying to figure out ways to not let anxiety win, to not let depression win. But like I said, like they say, it takes a day at a time. You take your time and get through it, and you will get through it, right? When it comes to depression and anxiety, like our brain deals with certain things, or either sees certain things, in how we deal with things. Persistent feelings of stress, right? Dealing depression, decreased energy, the brain on anxiety, anticipating the worst, restlessness, feelings of apprehension, feeling tense or jumpy. Like I'm more like being a serious person. I'm more tense when I'm stressed. Because just like I have things that need to be done. So I get like really, really tense, and I don't really know how to like get that anxiety out. It's certain anxiety lives around us. So like either it's on the job, at home, school, work, whatever it is, anxiety can kick in at any time. But we have to notice it. We have to pay attention to it. Because if you don't pay attention to it, then you'll just like keep letting it slide by. And you don't want to do that. You want to be attentive to the anxieties that come in, especially when it comes from people. Like if I feel within myself, like I put enough pressure on myself is how I see it. I put enough pressure on myself. So someone else coming and they're trying to put more pressure on me that I already have on myself, oh, it drives me it literally burns me out, because it's just like for instance, going back for my master's. I'm like, okay, yeah, I still got money on the table to help pay for school. So, let me do it. Although that I was like mentally burnt out from school, because it's just like, but I had in my head that you have to finish what you start. You have to finish what you start. Like, that's the thing that goes in my head. Finishing what you start, finishing what you start, finish what you start. You have to do it. So if you constantly have this in your head that's telling you need to finish what you start, finish what you start, and then you have people. So you already have this going on in your head, right? Finish what you start, finish, and you have other people that's going to come in and be like, oh, you still ain't done? You not finished yet? Dang, how long you been in school? And then it's like, it feeds into that finish what you start, finish it. And it's like, it grows a whole mind of itself when you're trying to figure out what you want to do in life. Like, this was my thing. Another one of my things. So when I was trying to figure out what I want to do in life, I people like, dang, you still ain't figured it out yet? Or what's your career? Oh, you changed careers again? And I'm just like, when I'm already still trying to figure it out, like, dang, like, you taking too long. You 33 years old. You're 34 years old. You this time is coming up. Like, you already have this going on in your head, and then other people add on to that, and it causes so much anxiety, so much stress, that it's just like, I remember numerous of times I just want to scream. I just want to scream. Most times I would run away, right? Not physically, but like mentally, and try to run away. Rather, I just go for a drive. That's how I mentally run away. I go for a drive, just kind of like free my mind. Or I used to put blinders on, just like, just stay focused, just stay, but don't worry about it. And it's like all this stuff, if it's not and I didn't deal with it properly. I was just dealing with how I was taught to deal with it, but it wasn't done properly. If I'm being completely honest, I did not do it properly. I did not handle my anxiety or depression well at all. And because I didn't, that anxiety caused me to go into a depression, because I didn't know how to deal with it. And other people didn't know how to deal with it, because my dad had this thing where he was like, oh, I'll give you a moment. I'll give you a moment to do whatever you're dealing with, and then you need to snap out of it. But how many of you know that sometimes it's not going to even be a moment? Sometimes you may need longer than a moment. I remember for losing my daughter, this is actually the month that I lost my daughter, Jazara. So like this month kind of, it does something to me, and it kind of reminds me of that depressive state that I went through of shutting down. And after like I lost her, like I literally shut down. Not only that month, y'all, I shut down for the entire year. I didn't want to finish school. I moved out of the house that she died in. I shut down, and it was a lot. It was a lot, because I didn't want to deal with anybody. I didn't want to talk to anybody, and I got tired of hearing the voices of people telling me, "Oh, just take it a moment," or just it's gonna be all right. It's gonna be okay. You're gonna be fine. I didn't want to hear that. Dealing with loss is definitely a traumatic thing. Like, don't get me wrong, I was really messed up with my aunt when my Aunt Cassie passed away. But I didn't really get a chance to grieve her. Like me and her, we were really, really close. She she poured into my business, Selfless Photography. And like, she believed in me, everything I want to do. Like she encouraged me and all of this stuff. And that grief was kind of taken away from me. And people don't realize that they can take things away from you, and not allow you to feel properly the way you're supposed to feel. And I was like, you know what? I didn't take away the fact that my daughter, although she was only 3 months old, I didn't take away from her the fact that she may have impacted other people's lives by her laugh, by her smile. And it did something to me to be a mom and lose a child. It shook something up in me, where it was a different feeling. And I shut down, because it's just like, I didn't want to talk to Yahweh. I didn't want to talk to God. Yahweh is God. I didn't want to talk to him. I didn't want to talk to anybody. And it's like I had people putting on me how I should grieve during this process. And it sent me even more so into a depression because how other people wanted me to grieve was not how I wanted to grieve. So y'all know the little hermit crabs. I went back into my shell even more so. And it took a lot for me to calm. It did. It took a lot. I barely like you go from a serious person to a real serious person that like it does something else to you. So when I'm literally telling you from experience, anxiety and depression is real. It's not something that we need to cover up. It's not something to be ashamed of. And that's why I'm speaking up on it this month, because it's not something to be ashamed of. If you're hurting, if you're dealing with something that you don't know how to shake or deal with, it's okay. It's okay if it's new to you. It's okay if you don't know how to figure it out or you don't have the answers. It's okay. I'm telling you, it's okay. I had to learn how to get through depression and get through anxiety. Some was through meds, as far as just trying to like calm me down a bit because anxiety would get high, where I would be frustrated, I would be angry, and all these other things. But it's real, y'all. Like it's really, really real, and it's more common in females. So here I am going to the next slide. The difference between depression and anxiety: you have guilt. Depression, you have guilt, loss of interest, sadness, excessive sleeplessness, insomnia, loss of appetite, lack of concentration. I had all that. Yeah, all that down to the letter. Every single one. I felt guilty, like I did something to harm my daughter, and I didn't. I lost interest in dealing with anyone. I was sad. I literally couldn't sleep at all. I could not sleep none whatsoever. I had to take melatonin just to go to sleep, or either my doctor had to prescribe me something just to go to sleep. Because like every time I closed my eyes, I seen my daughter. So it was hard to go to sleep. I didn't want to eat anything. People were trying to make me eat. I didn't want to eat anything. And of course, I couldn't concentrate on anything. Anxiety, restlessness, sweating, irritability, unwanted thoughts, feeling of impending doom, insomnia, excessive worry. I dealt with both of them in a combination. Um, like most people deal with depression at a time, some people deal with anxiety at a time. I had the combo effect of dealing with both of those. Excessive worry because I had already had my older daughter, and I was worried that something was going to happen to her. So it's like I always kept my eye on her. I kept her close. I always wanted my children close because I was afraid that something else would happen to them. Them unwanted thoughts of something happening to them. Like I went through all of that, y'all. That's what I'm saying. It's not for it's not nothing we should take lightly. It's something that we really, really need to take seriously, right? The facts about depression is more common in women than men. As you see, 1 in 4 women experience major depression in their lives. Women with depression oftentimes cry. Only 1 in 8 of men will experience depression, and they deal with it by anger or rage. Where they call us women the more emotional ones, so we'll sit back and cry or whatever the case may be. But yeah, it's a real thing. Men don't report it a lot because one of the things I even highlighted is psychological factors. So perfectionism, and I don't think you can say self-criticism. So men deal with depression when when they're blaming themselves for the things they can't. They're trying to achieve what they really can, dealing with low self-esteem. Or it is like they don't have anyone to help encourage them, lift them up. I put both involved because although this is Women's Month, our men still struggle with this. And it's more silent than it is with women. I didn't hear much about depression and anxiety in women until I went through what I went through. But I was even more surprised that men do not report it. They just keep going with the flow. They just keep pushing through. And then we wonder why they're angry or they're going through rage when it comes to job loss, when they want to be providers, because this is what our men are taught. You have to be a provider. If you're not providing, you're not doing, and it plays a factor on them. Some men, it's biological factor. So if depression runs through the family, then, of course, it kind of goes down playing to that. But mainly the men is more of psychological versus the pressure they put on themselves, and they feel like that they're not where they need to be. It's a whole thing. So we want to be mindful of that, especially as women that are wanting to be married. I'm telling you this from a married woman perspective as well. And once was single, I thought that, oh yeah, because I'm transparent. I know me, transparent, honest. I'm not sugarcoat nothing. For me, I was taught, I was brought up, man provides. If he don't have a job, he needs to find a way to get one. He needs to be able to pay the bills, all the bills, and I'm gonna be a passenger princess. I shouldn't have to work. I shouldn't have to lift a finger. That's what I was taught. But I still believe partly in that, but I more so now see on how it affects our men with the pressure that's put on them. And it's like no one sees them. No one sees the hurt. No one sees all that they're going through. No one sees that it's a lot. It's a big old weight that's put on them, mainly from Adam and Eve. You know, when Adam had to name all the animals, and it's a lot of weight. So we as women have to learn how to be more supportive to our men. Have to learn how to be more encouraging. Not now. Don't get me wrong. Don't say, "Oh, Miss Doyle said, LaShonda said, or Shonda said that." We supposed to just I did not say that. I didn't say but at the same time, figuring out what is it that they want to do. So this calls for like real true communication, which we talked about last month. How we communicate, make sure things are clear, concise. What is it that you want to do? What was that the movie? Why no? Think Like a Man. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? These are communications that you have to ask. I remember I was watching this Christian comedy, me and my husband and myself, we were sitting down watching it. And one of the things that he made clear to his spouse before they got married, he was like, hey, I'm gonna need 5 years. I think he said 2 or 5 years to find myself, to figure out what I want to do. Within them 5 years, I don't want to hear you complaining about this not paid, and I don't need to hear you complaining. After that 5 years, and I don't get where I need to be, then I got you. But he was like, until I need you to hold it down. And she was okay with it. Most women be like, no, I ain't taking care of no man. He better be taking care of me. It's an okay mindset, right? I'm gonna say it's an okay mindset. But you don't want to have it where you don't know how to do anything, right? Like I applaud women now, like women are entrepreneurs, we're creating businesses, we're bosses, right? And most of us, we have men that are going to support us and be there for us and encourage us and like, yeah, go for your dreams, go do that, go. That's the same thing our men need too. They need the support. They need us to have their back just as much. For those that are striving to be married. So these are things that we have to consider, not just about ourselves and what we go through, but also the men as well. Next slide is anxiety, facts about anxiety. I'll have to fix my slides. I be thinking we have them together and I don't. Facts about anxiety. Most common mental disorder affecting 301 million people worldwide since 2019. So this is not nothing that is, it's not new, is what I'm gonna say. It's not new. It's in our world because it's worldwide. 301 million worldwide, but it's certain demographics that I'm not going to say it only hits. I'm not going to say that because it hits us, but we just choose to hide it. And that's what we cannot keep hiding it. How are we ever going to receive help if we keep hiding ourselves? If we keep diminishing ourselves when it comes to other people or other things? If you know me, I don't mind ruffling feathers now. I don't mind it. If I'm clear and free, if I feel blessed beyond measures, if I feel free within my spirit to be able to say, no, you hurt my feelings and set some boundaries, I'm going to remain in that freedom. I don't care if you don't like my boundaries. I don't care if you don't like the way the Father is setting me up for where he wants me to go, because it's not about you. You weren't in the business plan when he told me what I needed to do. I'm going according to his word. I don't care who doesn't understand. That's just me. But at the same time, we have to understand that during this time, I'm going to I'm going to make it permanent within our Black community. I'm going to make it open within every community, because it's not something we should hide. It's not a disease that you should hide. Other people need, they have Alcoholics Anonymous, right? That's more open than depression and anxiety. People, yeah, of course they remain anonymous, but at the same time, you hear more about it than people going in for mental health to get themselves help, right? It's it's not that many. It's alcohol's not something that, oh yeah, we could do it, because we have the stages. It really, really hurts me to my heart that there's so much going on just with this topic alone that people don't want to deal with. Even when I post things on social media, just to shed light, not to say that I want people to comment, but at the same time, we're scared to comment. We're scared to talk about it. We're scared to talk about the things that are affecting us and hurting us and hindering us. That's what I'm saying. If you don't step out, how do you expect to walk into the purpose that the Father has for you? You have to step out. I had to step out of being fearful. I had to step out of being afraid. I had to step into my boldness. I had to step into my confidence. I had to step into who the Father called me to be. I couldn't let nobody else put a cap on me when I know what the Father has in store for me. That means talking up about depression, talking up about loss and grief, talking up about when it comes to marriage, talking up. You have to speak up. How are we going to help people if we don't speak up about it? I guarantee you there are a lot of people that have I'm not going to say they surprise me, but they surprise me because just by them coming to talk to me, and I love it when people can like, hey, can we talk? Look, I'm all for it. Text me and be like, hey, are you free? Can we just chat? I am so open to that because I want you all to be helped. I want y'all to know that there is something better out there for you, but you have to step out. You can't be afraid of who's looking at you, of who doesn't approve of you, of who doesn't like you, of who doesn't like the boundaries that you have to step out. You have to, without fear. If you get scared, and I'm not saying it is okay to be afraid to step out, but here's my hand. Here is my hand. We are sisters triumphed emotionally and physically. We are going to overcome this, but you have to take my hand. You have to step out and don't go back. I am here to make sure that you have the sources that you need to know that these things are not hidden. I want to shed the light on it because it doesn't need to be hidden. We are struggling as a society because we want to sweep stuff underneath the rug and hide this and hide that. It needs to be talked about, people. It needs to be talked about, ladies. It also says about anxiety can start at any age, most common in childhood and adolescence. That took me out alone. Knowing that it's common in childhood and adolescence means that some of these things started when we were children. The anxieties, the pressures that we deal with, it started when we were children. Most people don't want to acknowledge the fact that the traumas and things that we're dealing with as adults stem from when we were children. And if you don't deal with that happened to you back then, you will not grow to the person and the purpose that Yahweh has for you now. You have to deal with it. We can't keep hiding from it. From the way Medea talked to us, it made us feel like we weren't worthy. The way that mom and dad ridiculed us because we didn't go into the field that they want us to go into. Being threatened that they were going to take us out the wheel if we didn't do what they told us to do. So we had to do what they demanded, regardless of how it made us feel. We have to talk about these things, about how people make us feel, being open and honest with yourself. Because if you're not open and honest with yourself, how are you going to be open and honest with other people? This is something that the Father is definitely going to be walking us through every day this week every Monday of this month, next month after that. It's not going away. It's not going away. But it's up to you to choose if you want to deal with it or not. The choice is yours. All you have to do is take my hand. And I can, it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy. But I guarantee you it will be worth it. It will be worth it. I feel free now because I know that everything I've been through, all the pain, the trauma, the everything, John 9:40 is my scripture. It is necessary. And because I know that now everything I went through was necessary and I am dealing, I don't get me wrong, I have dealt with some I have dealt with some of the traumas. I have dealt with some of the difficult things and setting boundaries and standing up for myself. But the main thing that I was more so determined to do, I was determined not to go back. I was determined not to let anyone else take me back to who I used to be and not walk into the purpose who the Father has for me. So that is introduction of this topic for this month. Like I said, we're dealing with depression and anxiety. I hope that you all will come in next time. Bring someone else who you may feel will definitely benefit from this topic this month. Bring your questions. Bring your step out fully into this, because I promise you somebody else needs to hear it. We can't act like we can't keep going into society as if nothing's happening. The main reason why I chose to go into marriage and family therapy is because I didn't see it. I see doctors. I see a lot of lawyers. I see a lot of engineers. My dad's an engineer. But I didn't see a lot of mental health counselors. I didn't see my first therapist until I lost my daughter. That's how obsolete it was in my community. That's how much it wasn't known about that you can go and seek help for the things you're going through. Even as an adolescent, it's avenues. And I want to let y'all know that Step Out is here for you. No matter how old you are, no matter who you are, I want everybody to win. Everybody that's in my network, out of my network, everybody comes in, steps in to Step Out, will be blessed, will not be the same. Will see the avenue brought before them and choose to take the hand and find and go find a different way through the help of the Messiah, because it's not only through me. I pray you all were blessed today. I definitely want to pray for you all. I pray that the Father will open up your hearts to this lesson that has been presented today. I hope you all were encouraged, and I hope you all will take this and apply it to your lives, and also be able to take it to help somebody else who may be struggling with depression and anxiety. I look forward to seeing y'all next Monday. I pray the Father give you covering this week while you're at work, at school, at church, wherever you may be, that He protects you and covers you. No matter where you are, I pray the Father will build you up where you're torn down at, that He will touch the depression and anxiety that you may be experiencing even right now, Father. I ask you to help that young lady, that young man, whoever's experiencing anxious thoughts or feeling in a depressed mood, Father. And I ask you to lift them up where they're torn down at. Build them up to be the man and the woman that you call them to be, Heavenly Father. Help them to know that you are with them. You are with them no matter what. All they have to do is take your hand in the mighty name of Yeshua. I ask you continue to touch my sisters as they make through the work week, as they make decisions, Heavenly Father, or have to deal with certain traumas or things that they've been dealing with. I ask you continue to bless them and touch their hearts, touch their families, touch their children, help them to make an impact on their children and now, Father, to be able to ask questions if they're feeling a certain type of way, Heavenly Father, to be open to their response. Actually help them to be transparent, bold, and confident in their everyday life, Father. In the mighty name of Yeshua, I pray. Amen. And thank Yahweh. I hope and pray that y'all have a blessed week. If you need to reach out to me, just send me, if you don't have my personal number, you can send me a direct message and I will respond to you. Or you can, reach out no matter what, or reach out to another young lady who may be within the network as well. But I love you all to life, and I hope you have a great week, and I will see you next Monday. See you then. And I hope you know that you are the light too. I am not the things my family did. I am not the voices in my head. I am not the pieces of the brokenness inside. I am light. I am light. Light, I am light. I am light, I am light. I am light, I am light. I am light, I am light. I'm not the mistakes that I have made, or any other things that cause me pain. I am not the pieces of the dream I left behind. I am light. I am light. I am light. I am light. I am light, I am light. I am not the color of my eyes. I am not the skin on the outside. I am not my age. I am not my race. My soul inside. Oh, I am light. I am light. I am divinity defined. I am the God on the inside. I am a star, a piece of it all. I am light. Y'all have a great week.